Hi, it's the B2B Morning Zoo. My name is Nate Warren. In the other screen, you'll see my estimable host, Jay Schwan. What up, Jay?
Hey.
Before we jump into news, I fixed the virtual background thing.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
No, watch this.
Wait. I see pants.
Gian, aka He She Who Thirsts, who is one of the co-hosts of Breakup Gaming Society, gave me a painting.
So, oh my goodness. What's going on?
Virtual background, bro.
Oh, that's rad. Hey, those symbols don't mean anything strange, do they? Am I gonna have to censor that whole thing? I'm gonna have to fuzz out that entire thing, man.
I think this is a spell that gets you discounts at Applebee's.
Are they a content wizard or a content druid? Oh man. We're gonna need tips on how to get that going in the office.
So news, Jay. Let's have a little fun and do a little prognostication. Today, I'd like to do news roulette. If you want to play along, I want you to look at the headlines from the news feed on your LinkedIn homepage and pick 3 of them that sound juicy. You're just going to tell. I do not know what they are. You're going to throw them at me, and I'm going to. And I am going to guess how I think the lead should read.
There's some choice ones here, so I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. Are you ready for the first one?
Nope. Fire away.
All right. Number 1, paranoia creeps into remote work.
Paranoia creeps into remote work.
Yes.
The first time Denise Hawley hit mute on a 1.5-hour Zoom meeting to go to the bathroom, she was alarmed when she heard a boss's voice say from inside her head, "Don't forget to wipe from front to back."
What? How do they know? Do they know?
That's the essence of paranoia, my friend.
I got to tell you, so it doesn't matter how many times I look at the mute button. It doesn't matter how many times I click the mute button. If I have like earbuds in and I go to the bathroom, I am terrified that they're going to hear me flush a toilet or something constantly. It doesn't matter how many times. I will come back and double check, like when I'm done, that the mute was on. And I think the lesson there is don't take anything into the bathroom with you ever.
It has to be from one of 2 extremes. Either, extreme caution or just hell with it,
Totally.
Bring it on in there.
Yeah, you get it all.
It'd be like, you're on my time, people.
Boss makes $1, I make a dime. All right, you ready for the next one?
Nope.
Nope. All right, coming at you. Another trend out of remote work. What could it be, Nathan?
I'm trying to think if that would even entice me to click. As a boy, I can't wait. Okay, you know what? They're going to find remote jobs for dogs.
Oh man, you told me about this.
Because people are going to finally be so tired after month 8, like podcasting from their bathroom. Mm-hmm. I don't know who would do that. But they're going to be looking at their doggo and be like, you know what? You're a parasite. Oh. And they're going to have remote jobs for dogs. And it's probably just going to be like, I think they'll just have them in one of the squares, just kind of sitting there as like support animals, and people maybe be more productive if they can see a dog.
No, my dogs are liabilities. Currently I have 4 dogs in my home, and they are all suspect. One of them won't stop peeing on stuff. One of them won't shut the hell up. And when that one won't shut the hell up, it gets the other ones going. So like I can't, in fact, I had to send out a family text before this just to get the dogs to shut up. Otherwise they'd be ruining this whole take right now.
When you said like one won't shut up and the other one will stop peeing on stuff, I thought you were talking about our old board game group.
Oh, I miss those guys.
Oh, not again.
Oh, that's why I love them.
That's my prediction. Remote jobs for dogs.
Okay. All right, Nate, last one. You ready? This one's juicy. I kind of like this one. NRA files for bankruptcy.
This is just a subhead. I think we spent it all on guns, said former CEO.
I mean, that's what they do, right?
Well, I think what really happened is they had an IAO, which is an initial ammunition offering, and they had stockpiled hard to get rounds,
Right.
and they tried to make that the basis of a cryptocurrency. It didn't
Whoa.
work out.
I know the NRA gets money from like dues and from donors. So what happened? Did it all just dry up? And when we started seeing white insurgency groups try to usurp the government, was everybody like, I'm washing my hands of this one? Nope.
Actually, in terms of prognostication, I am a mix of humor and dread, wanting to know who picks up that flag and runs with it.
Totally. Yeah. Come on, NRA. Have they even released a statement about what happened?
No, they just left in the middle of the night and slunk away to some think tank somewhere.
Maybe that was the statement. Nope, not touching this one. We're done.
Yeah, well, you wanted to speak to about what drove the organization's funding, and just no.
No, we're closing up, guys. This is it.
It's a wrap.
Yep. Well, good. Let's take that money elsewhere and help out poor people or something.
Works for me. Yeah, exactly. But on the upside, I think they still have a lot of guns.
Oh yeah, they're out there. They're looking at them. They're looking at them so hard. They want to shoot them. They want to shoot them real bad. Nate, when we come back, I'm gonna whine about distance learning and its effect on my family. Bear with me, because it's gonna get emotional.
That's something I'm actually ready to hear more about. So let's do it, man.
Cool. Hey, welcome back. B2B Morning Zoo with Nate and Jay. I've got to get a few things off my chest. So my significant other is a teacher, and the pandemic has kind of exacted a very strong toll on that profession and kids, and the kids that have to go to school too. So first of all, being married to a teacher is like being married to a cop. Nate, she's a teacher all the time. 100% of the time. It's like having, it is what you think when you were, 12 years old. Your teacher is a teacher all the time, basically. So
are you trying to say she whips your ass at night?
Nightly.
Well, whatever it is, you're doing a great job masking it up, because you look especially radiant and puckish today.
Hey, thanks, man. I didn't take a shower. But anyway, when they were all sent home to do distance learning from home back in, this was March of 2020 now, I think, is when that all went down. There was zero curriculum created for teachers to be able to present curriculum over the internet, let alone, the implications of kids not having access to a laptop or the internet for that matter. Right. Lots of inequality issues going on there. But ultimately, what they did do is they rolled out Wi-Fi hotspots and laptops to everybody to make sure everyone could get online. So that was cool. But there was zero curriculum built. So all the teachers had to start from scratch and build out curriculum that they could teach to kids, right? Normally, the district would have things built for them to teach on a regular basis. But in a lot of cases, and specifically for what my partner teaches, that's not the case, let alone they didn't know how to do that over the internet for kids to receive, right? Wildly complex. She teaches 3 different classes, meaning that she has 3 different preps that she has to prepare for to teach the next day. She is up until, the small hours, just building out curriculum for these kids, teaching it, trying to catch her breath, and then having to build curriculum again every day. Now they're talking about doing limited in-person teaching 50% of the time, meaning that she would be in a classroom half the time and teaching remotely half the time. 3 different classes, meaning that you have to prepare 6 different curriculums to teach on a daily basis.
So a couple thoughts here. One, with the rise of charter and magnet and internet only high schools, isn't there a quick start model they could just pillage from one of those?
Yeah, you would think, and that's kind of part of what at least her district said, is like, oh no, we got all this stuff you could take advantage of. Well, what she teaches does not exist, and at least in those circles, and a lot of this stuff, like she does history, right? A lot of places are treating that almost as an elective now, and there isn't curriculum built for it. let alone curriculum that takes into account everybody's individual, IEPs if they have those, or that take into account, say just like, social equity, like where everybody's coming from. It doesn't take into account any of that stuff. Basically, all this curriculum thinks everybody's a rich white kid, and that's not what is needed right now. The state where we live in has just decided that teachers are now frontline workers and will be next in line to be vaccinated. This is even before the elderly and more, at risk for health reasons. So what we're trying to understand now is like, okay, so if she meets in person with a kid who, is infected, that kid infects another kid who goes home to their grandma who hasn't been vaccinated. Is the school district culpable in that? What's going to happen? We're just trying to figure out because we don't understand.
I'm just trying to weigh all the different overlays and plays here, and I'm not being snarky right now. It's stressing me out just thinking about it.
Totally.
It really is.
I mean, yeah, we've lost sleep over this. Like, what happens? It's cool that she's going to get vaccinated and all that, but man, the implications of like schools becoming super spreader, vectors for disease are huge.
In-N-Out hamburgers opened 2 new schools in Colorado, and there were like 150 cases from the In-N-Out faculty. No, wait, that was just burgers.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Would I risk COVID to get a In-N-Out burger?
Apparently, a lot of people will. I mean, what do you do? I guess you could laminate the kids.
Right. Yeah. How do you send them to school with a bag over their head? I mean, what are you going to do? How are you going to keep kids apart? Like when they were little, I remember one time hand, foot, and mouth disease or something like that was running rampant in an elementary school. And all they told us was, hey, don't send them to school with any chocolate. Just don't do that, because the kids like to share chocolate. And then they try to feed it to some other kid with their funky hands. And then kids share stuff. They share more than chocolate. I'll tell you that.
Right. And that doesn't even get into the problem of what happens in terms of transmission when you kiss your own butt and marry your own butt.
Oh God, pink eye, COVID, all sorts of crap.
They're going to stick you on a plague island with your own butt babies. That's what's going to happen.
Dude. Yeah. So if anybody has any suggestions or any can point us to some literature that speaks to some kind of end game or just solution to this, please let us know. Please write me and tell me, because I need to take this to the highest level of
the administrative echelon.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that, yeah, hit them up. That's JAY dot Schwan, SCHWAN at B2BmorningZoo.com. Give them some ideas on how to educate in the 21st century in the remains of our society.
Yeah, help me out, guys. I really appreciate it, because we're losing a lot of sleep over it. Anyway, we're going to come back with our guest. This time is going to be Josh Spilker, and he's going to tell us all about being a content druid.
That's right. Hey, everybody. It's time for 2 good questions. I'm riding solo with our guest today, as Jay is momentarily tied up. Don't worry, if you like his cherubic face, he will be back soon. Our guest is somebody I've been pumped to talk to. We're talking to Josh Spilker, founder of growthcontent.io, and an all-around heck of a guy.
Thanks.
Josh, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Sunny day as far as sunny goes in January. But yeah, nice.
We'll take what we can get.
Right, exactly.
So, and for the purposes of our listener,
Hey,
hey,
how's it going?
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I want to tell you why I had Josh on this show. To me, when I scroll through LinkedIn, I'm a pretty jaded consumer of LinkedIn content. I've seen every flavor of humble brag, every flavor of dull self-promotion, and every flavor of language that you can tell has been filtered through 4 levels of an organization to be as inoffensive and as not very valuable as possible. And Josh seemed to be a member of a vanguard of a new standard, frankly, in B2B content. And when I hit Josh's posts, I would always read them. Why? 3 reasons. 1, when you read Josh's post, you learn something that you didn't know how to do before. 2, you learn how to think about something in a way that you weren't before. And this is another thing I like, Josh, is 3 is your humility in addition to your acumen. You're not afraid to put up a post saying, hey, here's a problem I'm sort of good at. What do y'all think? And via those conversations, I've reached out and connected to other people to join in because you start good discussions. So Josh, you wrote an article sharing a bunch of SEO and then content hacks that you play around with. And there's one in particular that drew my eye that I'd love to dive into for a minute, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you for the kind words about LinkedIn. I don't feel like I always know what I'm doing, but it's been fun to participate for sure.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. Basically, here's what I want to know about sort of your internal process about how you pillage social media for good content topics.
Oh, did I actually say that? Thank you. I try to think about.
In particular, sorry to interrupt. In particular, you mentioned Reddit.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. What is kind of happening a lot in like SEO is everybody's like really optimized very strongly for like kind of these shorter kind of keywords, but do they actually answer like somebody's real problem? And most people's kind of response to that is like, well, we need to do like customer research and like see what our customers are actually asking, which is fine and is like totally valuable. But if you want to like take that another step, like social media kind of taps into what your other people are talking about and asking about who may not be your customers, but also maybe like your potential customers. And so a lot of times people think about social for just like promotion and distribution, but it's also a really great channel to get like new phrases and keywords and kind of ideas for you to tackle with your SEO. And so Reddit, for instance, is one of those places. It's kind of like, it's not a forgotten part of the internet, but it's a lot bigger than people kind of realize. Like, and like kind of even like the New York Times or something doesn't write about Reddit unless it's like this very much kind of extremist type thing, where actually it's like the 4th largest site, I think, on the internet. You can fact check me on that, but it's just like a huge part of that. And so that really does encompass like even B2B, B2C, and like kind of more like traditional marketing stuff, not just like random niche communities for hobbies or something. There's also a lot of valuable kind of like business questions being asked on there too.
It's true. And another thing that I've noticed, and I've spent a lot of time on Reddit subreddits, big and small, and I've noticed that if they're properly administrated, that they are kind of vigilant about making sure that spammers and hucksters get shown the door quickly. And a lot of those conversations you can eavesdrop on or join in on are pretty authentic, and you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to your point, like Reddit has always had a bad rap, when they have like very extreme views and such, but there are a lot of like good conversations. And honestly, I'm not super active. I'm kind of just like dipping my toe in there. And when I like kind of suggested that hack and like kind of suggested that you use that for keyword research, I'm still kind of going through that process myself. And like, I don't necessarily have all of the answers to that, but I just wanted to highlight it as like an underutilized channel. And it's actually something I need to tap in more myself too.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to throw in an applicable example, and it doesn't have to be Reddit, of how you sort of spun questions you knew your prospect was asking into content, I'd give you the floor.
I think when I was at this company ClickUp, which has done pretty well here recently, and I was kind of doing content and stuff for that, we would do a lot of what's called like social listening. And that sounds super official, but really it was just us typing in our brand name into Twitter and kind of seeing what people were talking about around our brand name, but also our industry. So that's a project management tool. So I was looking at like project management, and you would see people just asking for like different suggestions on tools, which then gives you a potential way to outreach them. But then you're also seeing like what people's frustrations are. I think in the post I have something from somebody's searching on Pardot, which is a marketing automation tool, and how you can identify different email campaigns and how you can use Twitter to locate potential topics. Somebody, was talking about how to identify targets for different email campaigns on Twitter. So you could isolate that, write a post about that, for instance. And so it kind of just opens up the keyword possibilities, especially if you've kind of been with a company or feel like you've exhausted all of your keyword research, to then turn to like kind of these social platforms to find some new information and new conversations.
Sounds good. And my ears perked up because you said recently. I also understand that growthcontent.io is, you've just hung your own shingle. Want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, sure. So I decided to kind of become an independent consultant right after Thanksgiving in 2020, and doing content marketing and SEO consulting. I mentioned I had worked previously at ClickUp, and I'd also worked at TopTal, which is a kind of a under-recognized tech behemoth in a lot of ways. I mean, they have like 600 to 800 employees, definitely on pace for one day achieving like high growth in revenue and like, close to the $1 billion or so. And they were a large firm, and I learned a lot of SEO stuff there. So I moved from like kind of a startup to like a larger firm, and now I'm kind of going out on my own just for a little bit more freedom, but also to kind of learn from others. When you're kind of in one place in-house, you kind of only have your data set, right? And you only kind of have your experiences and the people around you. But as a consultant, I'm able to, like, for better or for worse, dip in and out of different data sets, different processes, different companies, and just kind of start gathering and understanding and just taking stuff in. So I'm in that process right now. Maybe one day I'll like spin up my own agency or something, or maybe I'll go back in-house, but I really enjoy talking and seeing what other people are working on and the strategies they're using. Even in what it's maybe been 2 months plus like the holidays, but even in that time, I've definitely learned a lot about my strengths and weaknesses, and just kind of some different processes and ways of looking at SEO and content marketing for sure. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I take on some individual projects too. So I'd be happy to chat with anybody, mostly in B2B kind of startup tech space.
Perfect. And I would strongly urge anybody watching this segment, it's Josh at contentgrowth.io, correct?
Josh at growthcontent.io.
Sorry, I transposed.
Yeah, no problem.
Send him a line, and I would also strongly urge you to follow him on LinkedIn. Everything he says is interesting, at least to me. So, Josh, thanks for being a sport and being on our show. It's good to see your face, and best wishes for a different 2021 for you and yours.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Talk soon.
All right, later on. So yeah, this has been B2B Morning Zoo with Nate and Jay. That's the end of another one. There's 2 reasons we did this. One was, I forget the first one. The second one was money. Mm-hmm. And there's only 2 things we want you to do, which is, 1, if you ever wanted a corner of the workplace or the water coolers filled with gin, come on and join the LinkedIn group, B2B Morning Zoo. It's right there on LinkedIn. I think it's open. And something about Jay's eye pattern. I'm trying to guess whether he's playing Tempest or Centipede.
Hang on. Wait, one second. I can't.
Oh.
I can't pause it. I can't pause it right now. I just.
Are you? Wait a minute. Are you in a tournament? Or
stop.
Or else you could also find Jay. What's your handle on Call of Duty, loser?
I don't play that game. Come on. God, dude. All right.
Anyway, join the LinkedIn group.
I died.
And if it's not too much trouble for my co-host, could you at least play the theme music? I don't even have the file.
Whatever, man.
Paul, I could see your house from here.